Hello to everyone. Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for you all entitled The Key to Manifestation Begins with Self-Preservation. So, I want to go back to when I was around 16 years old. I was in Job Corps at the time, okay, because I didn't complete high school. I dropped out when I was in ninth grade. So I was in Job Corps getting my GED and my CNA. And I was very shy at that time in my life. I had already been through some traumatic events. And so it kind of pushed me into my shell. But I still had a very much so like a warrior spirit in me because that's just natural within me. That's who I am. And it's also because I'm an Aries at the same time. But I remember being in a classroom and it was an older man who was our teacher, and I was very shy amongst large groups of people. So I never said anything in this class, especially like raising my hand to be the center of attention. I hated being the center of attention, even though people was always like watching me or looking at me. And so he asked the class a question. And his question was, who knows the key of life? Who can tell me the key of life? And I remember sitting there like I knew the answer, but no one else raised their hand. So I was like, okay, I'm going to raise my hand. And I said, self-preservation. And he was like, where are you from, young lady? He started asking me like personal questions, and he was like, she's 100% right. Self-preservation is the golden, oh, he said, what's the golden rule? He didn't say the keys of life. He said, what's the golden rule? And I raised my hand and said, self-preservation. And I remember just sitting there thinking, like surprised that no one else knew the answer, but also questioning myself, like, how the heck did I know the answer? You see what I'm saying? Now, I had read a lot of books when I was younger. I used to be dropped off at the library almost every weekend. So maybe it's something that I picked up from one of the books that I read, but I didn't recall any particular book that would have brought that to mind. And even till this day, I look back at that moment and I'm like, wow, especially being awakened and taking a spiritual journey, I realized like, yes, the key, the golden rule is self-preservation, because if you're not preserving yourself, then you're no good to anyone else, not even to yourself. Okay. And so at that very young age, at that tender age, I understood that. I may not have implemented it in ways that would have been beneficial to my growth at that time. I mean, obviously, I was still very much so asleep, but somehow I still had an understanding on a deeper level that it's like it would creep back in and make itself known to me, like my own Akashic records, me tapping into my higher self, and that past life wisdom. Okay. And so I want to do a reading for you all where I'm going to pull the cards and I want to look into in what areas should you practice more self-preservation at this time, and in what ways can I assist you in manifesting things as you continue to do the work on self-preservation. So let's just get right into it, because I really don't, my data is low. Okay, so I got to clean out my space here. So King of Swords. The King of Swords is very direct. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so King of Swords, Eight of Swords. A lot of mental energy. Also dealing with communication as well. Air sign energy. King of Swords is really setting those healthy boundaries, being very direct, very straightforward, very logical in the way that you think and approach situations, and communicating your truth. Okay. Eight of Swords is this energy. I feel like what you're needing to do in order to in terms of self-preservation right now, is using the sword to cut yourself out of mental entrapment, overthinking, illusions that might have been created around you. Maybe even some fears, feelings of being stuck, like you don't have much control over a situation. Self-preservation is using this sword, yielding this sword right here to cut yourself out of this energy right here. That way, but it's more so mental. Okay, examining your thoughts. A great way is to examine your thoughts. Are you creating an illusion for yourself that's not real? Are you overthinking? Are you overanalyzing? Are you creating a scenario that's not in alignment with what you want to manifest? Okay. If you find yourself stuck in your head and you feel like you can't see your way ahead, you're not seeing it from a spiritual perspective, you're seeing it from the surface, then it's easy to get caught up in um this situation. Okay, it's easy to get caught up and feeling as if I can't move. It's nothing I can do about this. But the King of Swords recognizes, yes, I have much power, and he's very logical, very intelligent, and he uses his intellect to maneuver in life. Okay, very clear-headed and straightforward. And so I definitely see that self-preservation is you practicing being very cognizant of your thoughts, and seeing things from a more logical perspective, and recognizing that your thoughts create things, and that you may be in a space of creating illusions for yourself um, at this time. Now, this may not be the message for everybody. If it's not your message, then come back for a message that is in alignment. If you want a private reading from me, email me. And if you find that this message resonates with you, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. So let's see. I also have, there's another Swords energy, the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Some of you might find yourself suppressing things too much, okay? Overthinking and suppressing things too much. And so it feels like there's this buildup of energy where there's something that you want to communicate, but you've been holding back. And so I feel like speaking your truth is very important for you right now. I'm picking up a lot of throat chakra energy. Working on your throat chakra is a form of self-preservation, okay? Working on communicating your truth and offloading those things that you've been suppressing, and recognizing that you're not stuck, okay? You have a lot more control over your circumstances than what you might be able to see. That's too many cards. So let me see, what else should I pull here for you all in terms of practicing self-preservation. Okay, so the Three of Cups is in a reverse. I feel, and then the Eight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, okay? This card is three people in reverse. This card is one person with their back turned, very focused on something that they enjoy, very focused on, you know, using the elements, working with their spiritual team, reading, going within, like really putting in the work, and it's just them alone. So this is a very clear message. Some of you, in terms of self-preservation, it means releasing yourself from false friendships, whether they're family members, connections, whatever type of connection it is, releasing yourself of these types of people who are not in alignment with you, who are not truly supportive of you, especially when you have the clarity with the King of Swords. Some of you all might be very aware, well aware of the fact that there are certain people in your life that you need to make cuts with, but you may feel trapped. You may feel like you've been suppressing this energy or swallowing it down, like, maybe trapped in fear for whatever reason, maybe fearful of having to do the work, maybe fearful of being alone, fearful of judgment or something like that. But the Eight of Pentacles is, this is how you practice self-preservation. You start to put the focus and the work in on yourself so that you can build yourself, maybe focusing in on a skill or a project or a creative idea that you've been wanting to embark on, but maybe you find that having the wrong types of people in your circle has created blockages in the spiritual realm for you, or maybe even in the physical realm. Whatever the case may be, this is you yielding this sword and making cuts where necessary, not just for yourself, but for those people around you who do not serve your highest good. And this owl is standing out a lot down here, which represents seeing things from a 180-degree perspective, seeing things, from its full circumference, seeing things frontwards and backwards, okay? You have a clear vision. You have a clear vision. You recognize who's around you, but for whatever reason, you might feel as if you can't remove yourself or release yourself, okay? But again, it's all an illusion. It's not real. So once you come out of the illusion through self-preservation, you begin to make the cuts where necessary, and you begin to focus on those things where you can build yourself up. Eight of Pentacles becomes the Nine of Pentacles. And so Nine of Pentacles is independence, okay? And it's all about self-preservation, because you are no longer codependent on anyone in any way. It's like you are completely in alignment with yourself, the Most High God and your spiritual team, and you're content with that because you know that from there you can build. You move from the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles because you add, eventually you merge with the right types of people that are long-term secure relationships. Okay. And so you also have here the 9 of Cups in the reverse. An act of self-preservation for you at this time would be to flip this 9 of Cups into the upright, which means finding that happiness, that zeal, that passion for life, and moving towards your wish fulfillment. So it looks like this energy of, we have the 8 of Swords. Wow, the number 8 is here twice. So it could also be for some of you in regards to your abundance. Like you might have a specific idea that you want to embark on, but you feel trapped, like, okay, well, I can't take that particular direction because what will these other people think? But the fact of the matter is, some of these other people are not even really true friends. And some part of you with this owl being down here recognizes that. You see it very clearly, but you might put the blindfolds on and maybe even create this illusion for yourself, in order to have to, so that you don't have to see it, so that you don't have to do the next step, which the next step would be, okay, I clearly see that this person or these people are not good for me, or that they do not support where I'm headed, but okay, I clearly see it. So what do I do about that? I have to make the cuts where necessary because that is an act of self-preservation. Okay. And so then the 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment, jumping into your happiness. Okay. Opening up that treasure case and really receiving your inheritance, moving and jumping towards your inheritance. And so let's see what else is coming out here. Acts of self-preservation for you right now. Look at that. Taking the leap of faith, the Fool card. This is you starting fresh, okay? The only way that you can fully take the leap of faith, and at the bottom of the deck, I have the Page of Cups in the reverse. So for some of you, you're taking the leap of faith away from someone who was very disingenuous in terms of their actions towards you. You recognize that if they came in maybe offering an apology or offering whatever it is they offered to you, you recognize that it was disingenuous. And so it's that energy of taking the leap of faith. She's holding an amethyst in her hand. So listening to your intuition is an act of self-preservation. Taking the leap of faith and being courageous enough to start brand new is an act of self-preservation. And so I do see this energy of faith jumping into your freedom, into your happiness. Work on your solar plexus chakra as well as your throat chakra. Those two chakras are standing out to me when it comes to these cards here. But I do strongly see that there is this energy of just jumping into whatever it is that you've been guided to do, okay? And doing it happily, boldly, and courageously. This is what you're being called to do. If you want to create right now, if you're in the energy of, I want to manifest, I want to create something, but I don't know, I've been working on it, but I don't know where the blockages are coming from. These are the blockages right here. It could be your thought process. It could be you seeing something clearly, but not making the cuts where necessary. And so it's like that test. Are you committed to the process? Are you committed to really creating in the spiritual realm and bringing it down into the physical? If you really are committed to it, then you need to cut out people, places, and things that does not mean you well, or that is putting a certain shady energy out there when it comes to those things that you want to embark on. Okay, so whoever is acting from a space of falsehood, and they coming in with this false sentiment, then make the cut. Okay, let's see what else is coming out. Lots of yellow here, so definitely solar plexus energy. So then you have here the Ace of Cups. This is all about self-love, okay? Filling up your cup so that it overflows to the point where you have more than enough love to give yourself, more than enough love and energy to give to others. This is knowing where to direct that energy and when to pull back, okay? So that's both balancing your masculine and feminine in self-preservation, knowing when to give and when to recede, okay? And when to also receive. So when to take a step back and when to take action, when to give and when to, just be in that energy of, okay, I'm just going to be receptive to whatever comes my way. But this is all about filling up your cup and making sure that it's overflowing at all times so that no one can deplete you. Because you may have had people in your past who drained you of your energy and you felt like you was giving and giving and giving, but never receiving anything in return. Maybe they crumb fed you, and so now it's that energy of, okay, I make the cuts where necessary and I direct this loving energy towards those who are also reciprocal and helping to refill my cup. Okay, we are refilling each other's cups. And so I do also see this energy of, for some of you, if you're making cuts from, let's just start off with career paths. You're moving away from a career path, being around shady people who might have been overbearing, who may have made you feel as if you might have felt like you couldn't move into a different direction because maybe you was overly focused in on the financial aspect of things. That's a part of it. Then of course with the friendships, maybe you held on to false friendships because you was concerned about going into hermit mode, or maybe feeling like you might not be able to attract new friends into your environment, or just not wanting to be alone, some fear of loneliness that you might have had. Then for others of you, it's relationships where you're leaving behind a relationship that you felt very trapped in mentally and maybe even physically trapped in that relationship, thinking that you couldn't take the leap of faith towards new love, because this definitely gives me a strong energy of falling in love, taking the leap of faith towards new love. Okay. And so I definitely see that energy coming out as well, moving towards your wish fulfillment and away from someone who was not very emotionally available. Okay. So definitely an act of self-love there. All right, so we have here, look, act of self-love is turning away from this energy of backstabbing, betrayal, painful endings, and being optimistic, moving into a different direction. You can see this person's back in both of these pictures, okay? So it strongly indicates moving into a different direction, but now this is the energy of being more optimistic about where you're headed and waiting for your ships to come in. Whereas this one is like, okay, I got to pull these knives up out of my back. I got to get this dark energy from around me so that I can now heal. And then we have the Page of Wands in the reverse, which is, no longer feeling excited or passionate about something, okay? Turning away from people, places, and things that just no longer bring that zeal and passion out of you anymore. You're done with it, okay? And then also I'm picking up on this energy of moving away from career paths where you cannot, like, your creativity is stifled. It's suffocating. Your creativity is being placed on the back burner. And so maybe you find yourself in this energy of being in a King of Swords energy where you're just more cold and, feeling like you have to be just more, like wearing this tougher exterior. It doesn't allow you to have a sense of freedom like these other cards. This is the Fool card, the Nine of Cups, having that sense of happiness and freedom. And this Page of Wands in the reverse shows me that fire, that zeal, that passion, awakening your creativity, embarking on new ideas or creative ideas. It's like you're not able to bring that to the table where you're at right now. So practicing self-love is moving towards things that allow you to really step into your power and to be free to create. Okay, that's how you manifest, when you're in your creative nature, because manifestation is all about creating, but you have to first be able to create it in your own mind's eye. You have to be able to create the vision. And as long as you're in this energy of feeling trapped, overthinking, feeling like I can't get out of this situation, and that's where your focus is going, then you're still creating. For sure, you always creating with your thoughts, but you're creating what you don't want versus what you do want. So again, the art of manifestation is first self-preservation. And so practicing self-preservation, turning away from those things that did not awaken your passions and moving towards those things, people, places, and things that do. The fiery energy deals with the sacral chakra. So it could be that where you've been currently, it actually keeps your sacral chakra blocked. Like I said, your creativity gets stifled. And okay, so this is you turning away from those things that block out your creativity. I'm going to pull a couple more from this deck and I'm going to move on to my other deck. So the Page of Swords in the reverse. The Empress is here in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. This is like, again, the Empress in the upright deals with fertility, abundance, creativity, self-healing, nurturing, and being receptive to receiving, because the Empress in the tarot deck is the only one amongst all of the queens or kings who has a pillow behind her back, which indicates a level of comfort and just sitting back, knowing that she's in that receptive energy. She knows that she's projecting the right energy from a good space of love, and so she's ready to receive it. She anticipates that she will receive all of those things that are inherently hers. So whether you're a male or female, being in the Empress energy just indicates awakening your creativity. And I just mentioned the sacral chakra, which is like the womb. It's that energy of you can create a baby or you can create your purpose, or you can do both. But either way, you don't want it to be blocked off, because if it's blocked off, then you have a hard time first planting the seed, and then the Empress is the nurturer, so you need to be balancing your feminine energy in order to plant that seed and to watch it grow. And so I'm not surprised that the Empress came out in the reverse, because the King of Swords came out first, which indicates that some of you might be more in a more logical thinking type of energy, maybe more just thinking from a more logical place versus that creative aspect of your mind. Okay, you want to get out of the logical side and get more into the creative side, and the only way that you can do that is to tap into your feminine energy, male or female. Okay, and so turning this card in the upright, it shows you that the seed gets planted, and from there growth happens. Okay, and so you want to definitely, in order to awaken your feminine energy, you want to be in a more nurturing, loving, healing position, okay, creative position. And so definitely working on heart chakra energy is what I'm picking up there. The Page of Swords in the reverse, I feel like just cutting out people that are just, petty in their energy, gossipers, people that are always focused on others' business, but never really doing the work to focus on their own. Anyone that's coming in that's a bearer of bad news all the time. These are the types of energies. This is an act of self-preservation. This is how you're able to keep your vibrations high enough to actually bring down those things that you are imagining. Okay, you have to be the right vibration. Like, your vibration has to match what you're creating. And so let's just say, if abundance, okay, I'm going to use abundance as an example, and some people get it twisted thinking abundance goes directly towards material things, but I see abundance as being abundance of peace, happiness, love, good health, energy, passion, creativity, material things, financial wealth, security, abundance of your spiritual growth, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all of those things. Okay, and so in order to attract abundance to you, you have to first know your own value. You have to be vibrating high when it comes to your own self-value and how you feel about yourself. And so if your energy is vibrating high enough, then the abundance that you attract to you is going to match it, where it can be very expansive. Okay, and so just consider that how you view abundance is going to be the type of abundance that you attract to you in whatever area of your life it may be. Okay, and so let me see. I'm going to pull from a different deck just to see what advice I can give you, because this time is going by so fast, y'all. Let me see. I'm going to just pull. Okay, so you have the root chakra in the reverse. And then here we have suffering and silence here, right here at the bottom of the deck, with release also in the reverse. So there's some things that y'all are needing to release in your physical environment, person, place, or thing. And you might be suffering in silence, feeling like you're at a distance, like whatever it is that you desire is far away and it's out of reach. You might even feel like, I've evolved and I've climbed this ladder, I've ascended, but yet I feel like I'm still not reaping the harvest. I'm still not seeing the reward of my efforts. And so this is largely because there's still some things that need to be released, and you really want to turn within to figure out what that is. So let me just clarify, what should you be releasing at this time? For some of you, like I said, with this suffering and silence, it deals with releasing those things that you've been suppressing, opening up and speaking your truth. Okay, whether it's speaking your truth to people that you want to cut off, or speaking your truth to people that you want to welcome in, but you might, be fearful of being more vulnerable or something like that. With the King of Swords energy, that's somebody who's not they put their heart on the back burner, and they're more just logical and straightforward and direct. They might even come off as being kind of cold in their energy. But like I mentioned, coming into the Empress energy and turning that energy in the upright, that's where if part of your truth deals with you speaking from a space of love, or you opening yourself up to a loving connection and you've been suppressing that, then this is where the blockages, this is what it's talking about when it says you need to release this, okay? Release it and open up and speak your truth so that you're not suppressing it, because suppressing your truth, it creates another wound all in and of itself, okay? And so what you communicate to the universe through holding back your truth is that, you know, you don't want to attract people to you that are honest or that are open and that are vulnerable. You have emotional loss coming out here in the reverse. So it's showing me that this is what needs to be released. If you've taken some losses, or if you may even want to shift how you see that. Don't see it as being a loss, okay? If it was something that was dark and heavy and it brought this heavy energy into your life and a constant painful situations or whatnot, then it's not a loss. It's actually a gain. You're losing that energy that you no longer need in your life, but you're gaining something greater by removing person, place, or thing. So with this coming out to clarify release, I feel like, yes, some of you need to release some past pain or heartbreak that you might have gone through or experienced from someone. Openly speak your truth, or you can do a writing, burning, and releasing. I destroy and I release all unhealthy emotional attachments or unhealthy thought patterns, or all suppressed emotions that does not serve my highest good. You also have here thriving and material harvest. So with these two cards coming out, thriving and material harvest, is showing me that this is, it's very clear message. If you're in survival mode and you're concerned about what you have or how much of it that you have material wise, then that is blocking you attracting and manifesting abundance, okay? And I just mentioned that abundance in all ways, though. And so this material harvest, this is like, it's showing me that you are moving towards this energy of thriving, but this is where it's going to take you, okay? Once you clear out that energy that's no longer necessary for your forward movement, you're going to move towards this energy of thriving and having that harvest and that abundance, that birthright, that inheritance that is yours, okay? You'll be able to manifest and bring that down and to actually be able to reap the harvest of the seeds that you've sown. Because like I said, some of you feel like I've ascended, I've done the work, I've climbed the ladder, I'm at the top of the mountain, but now I just feel like my harvest, my abundance is so far out of reach. It's there. Just know that you have to look at this person. I was about to say, you have to free your hands in order to receive. And you see how their hands, they're in a position of receiving. So their hands are not full. Their hands are actually open to receive. And so if you holding on to even emotions, that can create blockages in the spiritual realm, because it's like, it's communicating this energy out into the universe through your thoughts. You're writing a story through your thoughts. It's saying this person is holding on to thoughts, emotions, and energy that does not serve them, people, places, and things that does not serve them. And so what you're communicating as a result of those actions is, my hands are not open to receive those things that I desire. My hands are not open to receive those things that I want to manifest, because my fists are clenched and my hands are full of all things that I don't want. That's what it's saying. So it's like you end up attracting more of what you don't want instead of what you do want. And you're looking like, but I've been doing the work on myself. I've been healing. Well, just knowing that releasing all that is in opposition to what you desire to call in is necessary in order to have free hands to receive. And so really evaluate that. Think about what that may be. The number 9 is showing up a lot here. So I definitely feel like a completion of a cycle. You are getting close. And so maybe some of you are running impatient, like, you're feeling like I've been running a race. And so when do I actually get to break through that ribbon? When do I actually get to say that I have achieved and accomplished what I have set out to do? And so you're close. Okay. You're very close to achieving your goal. It's just this energy of commitment. Your commitment is being tested. Okay. And so let me see what else is coming out here. Yeah, this has triumph. So keep going. Keep going, okay? You will be a triumphant. You will be successful, okay? You will get to exactly where you want to go. I see this card as the pace is getting ready to pick up pretty fast, okay? And you'll be waving this red flag to say, I've made it, the pace is getting ready to pick up. If you feel like things have been moving slow and postponed, it will. The truth card is in the reverse, so it's showing me that some of you, again, you have been suppressing your truth, and so there's things that you want to openly communicate. Spiritual strength is in the reverse. This is where, anybody that is a spiritual teacher, or anyone that's telling you about manifestation, the keys of manifestation, if they omit the importance of healing and self-preservation, then they're not really teaching you about how to manifest, okay? They're teaching you how to cut corners, and cutting those corners can get you in trouble later. So in order to really manifest and bring something down from the spiritual realm into the physical, you want to make sure that your spiritual strength is in alignment with what it is that you desire to create. You want to make sure that there's balance here, because this truth card, this person is standing on a balanced scale. So you want to make sure that there's internal balance, as within, so without, okay? This person, once they are internally balanced, they're looking out into the universe. So without, as within this person, so without. So they balance out the scales for themselves. So then everything that they attract to them from the universe is also balanced, or is in alignment with what they desire to call in. So this is how the Most High structured it. It makes sense when you really just evaluate it from a spiritual perspective, but you definitely don't want to lose that spiritual insight, because this is what you need to navigate. This is what you need in order to recognize what areas of your life, where these blockages are coming from, and what the spiritual reflection of that looks like, okay? You might have certain things that, if you've been on a repeat karmic cycle when it comes to your love life, or when it comes to your career paths, when it comes to you embarking on those things that you love, or certain friendships, or whatever the case may be. If you find that it's been the same cycle, it's only because you was not looking at it from a higher perspective, okay? And facing the truth of the situation. Because again, we had the card with the King of Swords. The King of Swords investigates. Okay, the King of Swords goes in and he, scopes out and gains answers, okay? So with that owl there, and with the truth card coming out right here, it's like you want to be able to see it from both a logical perspective, seeing the physical aspect of what these people, places, and things bring into your life, as well as using your spiritual eyes, okay, and your spiritual strength to evaluate. That's how you balance it out. And from that perspective, when you're looking at it from both, a higher perspective, lower perspective, internal, external, spiritual, physical, that balance is there. And so that's when you're able to attract and call in and really create, okay? And so this is where I strongly advise you all to consider looking at that. The number 9 is really showing up a lot right now, okay? I got 999. I also have 888. So if you've been seeing those synchronistic numbers, then this message is definitely for you. The number 7 is here with the crown chakra, so that also deals with that spiritual connection, okay? Crown chakra energy is that spiritual connection that you have to the Most High, your spiritual team, the universe, and all things that's spiritual. And so that's why this is here on top of spiritual strength, because you can't neglect this aspect of your existence, your spirit having a human experience. So if you neglect the spiritual aspect of your existence, and you're sitting there talking about, I want to manifest, then you may, let's just say a person, they end up manifesting material wealth because that's the only thing they're thinking about. They're not spiritual. And so because they have no spiritual connection, the only thing that they're thinking about is all things material. So they end up manifesting. Let's just say a person ends up winning $100 million. They manifest that. Now they have all of this money, but they still possess lack mentality. They still possess a lot of insecurities. They still, possess a lack of self-love. So what are they going to do? They're going to use that money. That money is going to now become something that actually they use towards certain codependencies. They use towards certain bad habits or patterns, and they're just going to end up squandering it, okay? It's going to be gone within a matter of a couple of years. And y'all see that happen a lot when it comes to people who win the lottery, because if they haven't done the work spiritually, but yet they are manifesting things in, it's premature. And so they end up manifesting something that actually works against them rather than to help them, okay? And so be very cognizant about that. So let me see. I'm going to pull a couple of more cards here. Look at this. The message can't get no more clear than this now. This says, what do you need to release? Yet again, another card about releasing. and the energy is gaining momentum. So the energy is picking up here. Something needs to be released, and this energy is the energy of flying off into a different direction here with these birds here. Okay, whatever it is that you're releasing is going to allow you to, pick up that energy, because remember, we spoke about energy. Vibrations is energy. And so when you do the releasing, then suddenly you're able to fly higher. Okay, that's exactly what I'm picking up on here. You do the releasing that's necessary, and then suddenly you can take new heights. Suddenly you can fly higher, okay? Suddenly the energy begins to pick up and things begin to take off in those areas where you felt stuck or where you felt like it was moving slow or it was stagnant. Suddenly you're able to pick things up and move right into the direction that you should have been going in the first place. And so some of you, love is going to be coming in once you release. Look at this. You got to release these people that's not in harmony with you, okay? False relationships, okay? People that are truly just deceptive and very envious of you. They don't want to see you move towards your divine union. They don't want to see you open up your heart chakra. They just, these are karmic connections, okay? And so for some of you, what do you need to release? This is perfect. It's coming out right behind this card. Some of you need to release karmic connection with these people. They're very green with envy. They're very jealous of you, and they do not want to see you move towards your divine partnership. They don't want to see you have real love in your life. You see how this person is looking over at this couple. It's like, who do they think they are? But that's why I said, for some of you, that's what it is. Bad partnerships, whether it's love life or if it's dealing with false friendships or whatever the case may be. Make the cuts where necessary, okay? Evaluate the situation from a logical standpoint as well as from a spiritual standpoint, and then make the cuts. Solar plexus is all about that courage, that personal power, that personal strength, and then embracing the moment. Even though things may not be moving at the pace that you want them to, you want to embrace every part of the journey. That way, when you look back, you're able to take these powerful lessons with you so that you can continue to create. You can continue to be the co-creator of your life and manifest those things that are in alignment with you continuing to evolve and your highest good. So embrace this moment. That's how you also create and attract, by staying in the now and making sure that in the now, in this moment, you're staying balanced, okay, and you're keeping your energy highly vibrational. So let me just pull one more, and I'm going to close out. Ooh. That was like 3 cards. Let me see. All right. Purification. Purging, cleansing, purifying your energy. The yellow is here again. Solar plexus energy. Like I said, I saw that energy earlier. Solar plexus is here. So courage is very important for you right now. Reflect on your priorities. That's the act of self-love and self-preservation. What is important to you? Not what's important to those people around you they can't see your vision. They are not going to put in the work for you to create your dream, okay? They can't imagine it and manifest it into the physical for you. What is a priority to you, okay? And then you have here obstacles and challenges, seeing it from a higher perspective. If it depends on how you look at the situation. It doesn't have to be that challenging. You can either take a leap of faith and just step right on over, or you can stand here gazing down thinking, well, I just might fall through the crack. If I take this leap forward, I might just fall through the crack. No, don't even pay attention to the worst case scenario. Look at the best outcome, which is I possess the ability to step right over this obstacle or this hurdle and keep it moving, okay? So that's my message for you all. I love you. If you want a private reading from me, email me. If you want to order my oils, email me. If you want to donate to my channel, check the description box. And also, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all next time.